Good evening, everyone. Again, there is delayed in uploading the next video. Now wait is over. Let us start with a few conceptual problems in today class. Let us see now. Just we are going to take a problem which is asked in IIT 2020, problem number 13, paper 2. Look at now. Let us see, there is a lake. A spherical bubble inside the lake. It is already given that inside pressure of the bubble and water pressure means pressure of the surrounding of this bubble are same and it is equal to P naught. It is already given in the problem. Now, it is started to compress adiabatically along the radius, say radius is R. And then its radius becomes, as per the problem, R minus A, where A is very less than R. And it is already given the magnitude of work done in this process. Magnitude of work done. 4 pi P naught R square A multiplied by capital X. Now we have to find the value of this capital X. This is the problem. At first glance, it looks very easy. Of course, it is easy. But when we investigate the problem, then we have to think deeper into it. As we all know, the pressure of concave side be always greater than convex side, as we all know. So here, whatever the surface is the concave, convex. Say here is the pressure P1, here is the pressure P2. So P1 is greater than P2, we all know. Now think over it. Here pressure is P naught and outside pressure is also P naught. How is it possible? However, problem belongs to IIT. But still, we have to investigate it. P naught, concave side pressure, and convex side pressure is also P naught. How is it possible? Then now we have to think the bubble is already formed outside this lake. Now suppose we introduce it into the lake, maybe pond, maybe river. We all know that as we go inside the water, pressure increases. So here is the atmosphere, say pressure is somehow, then we go deeper into that, inside. As depth increases, pressure increases. Here the water pressure P naught, keep in mind. So as we go inside the lake, so this bubble is already formed, supposed to be outside. So here the H increases, now the atmospheric pressure plus this pressure already increases. At one particular value of the depth, they might be equal. That is why. So now just we have investigated it. So P naught and P naught, no problem. Now we think this bubble is in equilibrium. Now it is started to compress along the radius, you may call it radially, but in adiabatic manner, and its radius reduces to r minus a, where a is very less than r. But still one point we have to think over it here, a is very smaller than r. So in which manner we have compressed it? Definitely infinitely slowly. It is not mentioned in the problem. So still we have to think like that. We have to compress the bubble infinitely slowly. This point might have been given in the problem, but it is not so. That is why I have told you earlier, at first glance, problem looks very simple. But once we started to investigate it, now it became very interesting. I am not taking hard or moderate like that. In my point of view, there is no easy, hard and moderate. But if you go deeper into it, then something comes out. So these are things now. So R minus A, look at here. So now the radius becomes R minus A. Process is adiabatic. But in which manner the pressure changes during the compression, it is also very interesting. It is also very interesting. In which manner? Look at now. In which manner? To understand this, we may apply Bernoulli's theorem. So the compression is equally in all possible direction. Radially, here one of the section is visible because sphere is three-dimensional. Now it is on the board which is already two-dimensional. So only a section is visible, but still there are many directions. So if you take this is the reference level, you might have to take this is the reference level, might be in any direction reference level. So here in this way, we take like that way. No problem at all. But for convenience, we take here, this is say very small area ds. So this is the reference level. Now we apply Bernoulli's theorem. What is the Bernoulli's theorem? We all know. P plus half rho v square So rho GH is equal to constant. We all know Bernoulli's theorem is applicable only when flow is steady, incompressible flow, no rotation, like that. Now we have to apply the Bernoulli's theorem. So compression here is very less than R. So we may conclude that very slowly, infinitely slowly. Still, this must be specified in the problem, but unfortunately it is not given. So infinitely slowly, so speed is supposed to be very zero. Rho GH. So this is the P. It means pressure is proportional to say H. Here H is supposed to be a radius. Whatever your reference line, no matters at all. So you may write here pressure is proportional to say radius R. It means pressure varies linearly. We may write here K into R. Pressure varies linearly. So still the pressure at every one of the point changes. So still there is a twist in the solution of this problem. That is why I had told you earlier, seems very easy. But once we started to investigate, we started to solve, then the complexity comes out. So we all know here compression is very small. So we take the average value of this outside pressure by which the droplet or the bubble is compressing. So we have to take the average value of this for the outside pressure. But inside pressure of the bubble is already P naught. So here the average out, this comes out to be P dr R1 to R2 over dr R1 to R2. Here K R dr varying R1 to R2 over dr R1 to R2. R1 to R2. This comes out to be K R2 minus R1 R2 plus R1 over R2 minus R1. So it is not 0, cancelled out. This comes out to be K R2 plus K R1. So here P average out, this comes out to be here K R2 K R1. You may write here P final P initial by 2. One of the two factor is missing here. R square over 2. The 2 factor is already missing here. So here is the 2 already divided by 2. Radius is changes infinitely slowly and change is very small. So you may write here Pi plus dP plus Pi over 2. So this comes out to be Pi over dP by 2. Pi already given P naught, so P naught dP over 2. Now again draw the fresh picture. Look at here now. P naught over dP over 2 and the inside pressure is still P naught. Nothing has been changed inside the bubble. So still it is P naught. Now the change in pressure. Now the change in pressure is equal to P naught plus dP over 2 minus P naught. This comes out to be dP over 2. Then magnitude of work done. Magnitude of work done here, this comes out to be dP over 2 modulus and change in volume. So change in volume, change is very small. So we may apply area into thickness. So area is, you may take 4 pi r square into A. A is taken as thickness. You may achieve this result by taking 4 by 3 pi r cube minus 4 by 3 pi r minus a cube and neglecting the higher order term. And you may get like that. You may use by the calculus method to get that. So anyway, but this is the very easy way to get area into thickness. So this is the one. Now pressure changes adiabatically. What does it mean? PV gamma is equal to constant. However, already gamma is given in the problem. Gamma is given 41 over 30. So differentiate it here. dP V gamma plus gamma V gamma minus 1 dV into P, constant comes out to be 0. This implies here dP gamma minus 1. So when V is left here plus gamma dV into P. You may take here P naught, initial pressure. This comes out to be here 0. This implies dP is equal to minus gamma P naught dV over V. This comes out to be minus gamma P naught dV is 4 pi r square into A. V is initial volume, because at initial value the volume changes from that values. So that is why we have to take the initial value here, 4 by 3 pi r cubed. This is dP. Now this is our work done. Magnitude, this comes out to be here mod dP. dP is already calculated here. Look at minus gamma P naught 4 pi r square A is divided by 4 over 3 pi r cube and multiplied by 4 pi r square A. We may use gamma is equal to 41 over 30, and then we have to compare this work by the given work in the problem. What is given? Given is already 4 pi P naught r square A multiplied over x. So after comparing, we may get x is equal to 2.05. You may find solution of this problem in many places, but what I did here, you have to think over it about that particular problem. So that is why I have told you it is very easy, but once we started to investigate, we started to solve, then too many interesting things comes out. This is the problem. Now the next problem we are going to take is from rotational dynamics. It is also very, very interesting. Look at now. So problem is, there is a rod of length 2L and mass m which is distributed uniformly. There is a string of length, say L, of length L, and a point mass m same as that of rod has been attached. Now at t is equal to 0, this mass given a speed v naught parallel to the rod, then we have to find what? Look at here. Number one, we have to find the acceleration of the center of the rod at t is equal to 0, means just after when this point mass started to move with the speed v naught parallel to the, so the acceleration of the center of the rod, the acceleration of the center of the rod. Number two, we have to find the angle, the speed of this system when this mass strikes to the center of the rod and sticks to it, that's omega. Now third one is that how much time will it take to strike the center of the rod and sticks to it. So we have to find time. Just these three problems regarding this figure we have to do. Now let us start. So here, once this particle started to move with the speed v0 parallel to the rod, look at here, at the center of the rod, say acceleration A, at t is equal to 0, mind you here, at t is equal to, just started, you may take t is equal to 0. This is already placed on the horizontal table, mind you, not in a vertical, horizontal table. Table is already frictionless, no friction at all. Just like that here, like that. Just no friction at all. mg, force of gravity of everything, is downward. So, this force did not contribute anything in the horizontal motion. Means, motion is taking place on the surface of the table. So, no contribution of the force of gravity and also the normal reaction offered by the top surface of the table. So, that is why. So for the rod, firstly we have to think of the rod. So, once started, this thing gets out, exerts some tension, say T here. The only external force here on the rod is
which causes motion.
We have to make the FBD, free body diagram. So, here we have to draw the free body diagram not by taking as a point, because we have to do with the two types of dynamics. One is the particle dynamics, other is the body dynamics. So, here this is the combination of these two. So, we draw the free body diagram. In case of particle dynamics, we have to draw a point. But now, once we have to draw the free body diagram in the rotational motion, we have to draw the body, because why? We have to take the moment arm. That is why. So, here we show all the forces at the center of the rod, it means center of mass of the rod. So, here is the T. So, T is equal to mass times acceleration. Here is the acceleration, here is the tension T. Now, here take the moment, torque R cross F about the center of the rod, because we are thinking right now of the rod. That is why. So, look at here 90 degree, sense, you may look here, sense. So, because only a torque. So, whatever the sense, no matters at all in writing the equation. If there is more than one torque, then we have to take one of clock or anti-clock sense as positive, negative. So, if there is only torque, no matter.
We take the positive direction.
So, torque is taken as a positive, you might take negative, no problem at all, because torque is torque, neither negative nor positive. For the dealing of the equation, we take the positive and negative. So, here T, L, because 90, sin 90, because 2L, the total length is 2L, so momentum becomes L. This is equal to ICM of the rod, center of mass, ICM rod. M, L square over 12. So, M is here M, L is here 2L, whole square over 12 alpha, taken as equation number 2. Look at here. Now, we have to find A, but there is 3 unknown. There is 3 unknown. A, alpha and T. 2 equation. Then we have to search of another relation. For this, we analyze the motion of the particle by sitting at the end of the rod, or this end of the rod. With respect to ground frame, the end A has got some acceleration. So what is the acceleration of this end A? Look at here. So take it end like A here. So AA, this is ACM and alpha cross R. Alpha R is so simply we have added this thing there. Why? Yes, look at here. A is supposed to be in this direction. So A is alpha cross R. What is the direction of alpha cross R? So look at here. Alpha is out and R is here. Alpha cross R comes out to be top. You may set up the coordinate system as well. X, Y and Z like that here. X, Y and Z, usual, whatever we are taking anywhere. Here, this is the ACM. In vectorial form here, A with respect to center of the rod plus A center of the rod with respect to ground. So this is here A is torn. So you may write here, so as per the axis what we have chosen, minus AJ, like that. So look at here, alpha in the direction of K. Here is the minus I, K cross minus I, this is also minus J. So that is why we have taken, now we have taken this direction as a positive, so like that. So by the choice of proper axis, we are able to find that. But in a simple manner, either rotating the fingers, hand, you may get quite easily. Or methodologically, both way. So like that here. Now, with respect to the point A, we have to analyze the motion of this projected mass, point mass M. So point A is already accelerated. Then we have to show the forces on the particle. So we have taken the pseudo forces because the frame is already accelerated. We cannot apply Newton's second law. So that is why we have to make a correction term. Mass of that particle, acceleration of the system in the opposite direction. So here, so we talk about that here. Here the particle, tension T already there. Tension always acts away from the body. Whatever the situation, no matters at all. And because this is accelerated down, so we have to use the pseudo force like that here. MAA. Mass of the particle is M. Acceleration of that with respect to the point A means acceleration of A. But in the opposite direction of the acceleration of the end A. That is why. No forces apart from that. and the velocity is perpendicular to these forces of the particle with respect to the end point A. So definitely it is a scalar motion. So net force toward the center, mv square over r means radius of that path. We are talking about initially. What will going to happen in the subsequent motion, we will analyze later on. So look at here. So T plus MAA, this is equal to M V naught square over L. AA put from here, T M A over alpha L M V naught square over L. This is, take it, this is equation number 3 and this is the equation number 4. Now from 1, 2, 3 and 4, we may find A. We may find A. T is equal to, look at here, T is equal to MA. Here already MA, M alpha L, this is equal to M V naught square over L. Look at from here, this implies TL is equal to 4 M L square alpha over L. Got it here, 4 3 ja. L1 of the L is also already cancelled here. So this implies T is equal to ML alpha over 3. ML alpha over 3. ML alpha is equal to 3T, T is equal to that. So we have to put M alpha. It means 3T, T is already MA. Look at from there. From 1, this is MA, ML alpha over 3 means 3MA, put there, MA plus MA plus 3MA, this is equal to M V naught square over L. So M is cancelled out by taking common on the left hand side, so it becomes 5A, therefore A is equal to V naught square over 5N. The first problem is already done.
We succeed to find
The acceleration of the center of the rod at t is equal to 0 means once the particle is projected parallel to the rod with the speed v naught. So now, the second one is that omega, we have to find the angular speed when the particle sticks to the rod and how much time will it take during the process. Now, what do we have to do? For this, we try to jump into the center of mass frame. Center of mass frame. So first of all, at t is equal to 0, we have to find the position of the center of mass and the velocity of the center of mass. So for the position of the center of mass, look at what we have to do. Take it here, origin. Say this is y-axis and this is x-axis. So firstly, we have to find xcm and then ycm. So first we find xcm here. m1, m into 0 plus here. This is the point mass, okay, but this is the extended mass. continuous mass, then we have to take the center of this rod as a point mass. So that is it. So here m into L over m. So this comes out to be L over 2. In similar fashion, YCM. So here m into 0 plus. So look at here. This is already also L. This is L. This is also L. Look at here. 2L. So m into L over m plus m. This comes out to be L over 2. The center of mass positions here like that. Draw freshly here. So this is 2L and this is L and this is L. This is L by 2 here. Look at. This is the center of mass position. Now we have to find velocity of the center of mass with respect to ground frame. So we all know VCM m into rod initially at rest, m into 0 plus m into V naught over m plus m. This comes out to be V naught vector over 2. If we show the direction because it is horizontally, then it means to say take x axis, then okay, no problem. So here V naught by 2 horizontally in the same direction as the particle is projected initially, horizontally parallel to the rod. So this is the scenario. Now we have to find the velocity of the particle with respect to center of mass frame and the velocity of the center of the rod with respect to center of mass frame. Initially, say at t is equal to 0. So velocity of the particle with respect to center of mass frame means velocity of particle minus velocity of center of mass frame with respect to the same ground frame. So this is particle is the V naught and is the V naught over 2. This comes out to be V naught by 2. It means velocity of that particle becomes here V naught over 2. V naught over 2. Velocity of the center of the rod with respect to center of mass frame. Velocity of center of the rod minus velocity of center of mass, both with respect to ground frame. This comes out to be 0. At t is equal to 0, there is no velocity in horizontal direction. Right. Even in the vertical direction, because the acceleration is there. If there is acceleration, it does not mean that there is a velocity. At t is equal to 0. Might be velocity, but it not the case here. 0 minus V naught over 2. So this is a negative sign, it means opposite to that. So here is V naught over 2. This is the situation at t is equal to 0. So look at here, so move like that. But still, there is no horizontal force acting on the system. It means center of mass continues with the same speed V naught over 2 in the horizontal direction. If you consider positive x-axis, then in the positive x-axis forever, because there is no any objection, means there is no any force in the horizontal direction. So now look at here. So about the center of mass, look at here, because motion on the plane surface, on the table, frictionless table, or you may call it frictionless horizontal surface. So there is no torque about the center of mass axis. What does it mean? Angular momentum must be conserved. Our center of mass is moving with a speed v naught by 2 horizontally in the shown direction. This is the case. Okay. So we may apply conservation of angular momentum. So initial angular momentum here Li is equal to LF. Li, look at here. So here are like that here. So look at here. Yes, cooperating means mv naught 2 into L over 2 plus mv naught over 2 L over 2. Finally, it sticks to the center of the rod. So I omega. I means this mass is at the center of the rod sometimes, so it is moving like that, somewhere else like here. So M is already at the center, so its moment of inertia comes out to be 0. So I m 2L ml square over 12 into omega. So we may find here omega. Then task will over. Calculate here. So it becomes mv naught L over 2. This is m for m L square over 12 into omega. Cut it here. 3. So 1 m is L is one of the L is cut here. Now omega is equal to 3 v naught over twice L. This is omega. Final. Initially omega is 0. Now we have to find the angular acceleration alpha. Let us see what it is. So omega, look at here, 3 v naught over 2L. So second problem is already done. A, we have already calculated A is equal to V naught over square over 5L. T is equal to MA, TL is equal to M2L square over 12 ICM alpha. A is equal to that. Put here T is equal to MA into L for M L square over 12 into alpha. M is cancelled here. L, one of the L is already cancelled there. A, put there from V naught square over 5L. Value of A, this comes out to be 4 3 ja alpha L over 3. So here alpha is comes out to be 3 over 5 V naught square over L square. Look at there, alpha is constant. Then we may apply omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. So it is very easy to use omega is equal to, because omega is already calculated. Look at here. So omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. So this implies t is equal to omega minus omega naught over alpha. So omega is, look at here, 3 v naught over twice L, but at t is equal to omega naught is 0. Alpha is already calculated, look at there, 0 over 5 v naught square over L square. So here 3 is cancelled, 5 over 2 one of the L is already cancelled, v naught, one of the L over v naught. Yes, say meter per second, meter cancel second, that's okay, right? And this is your answer. So now we succeed to solve all 3 problems regarding that situations what we had depicted in the beginning of the problem. So, okay, thank you. We will meet again with a few nice conceptual problem. Thank you.